Good afternoon, John Naylor on the eCentral Business Show. I'm here with Helen Baker from On Your 2 Feet, Melissa Ma from Talking Money. Ladies, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, now I do a lot of networking with you guys and I'm still confused. It's a mystery to me. How are you guys different?
In so many ways. Or not.
Okay.
Actually, I think the best way, you describe it better than I do. You go.
Okay, so basically the difference between Helen and I is Helen is a financial planner. She holds, to be a financial planner, she has to hold an Australian Financial Services licence, which enables her to give product and personal advice to her clients. I sit out from that. I don't hold an Australian Financial Services licence. I call myself a financial coach. And basically I'm very much in the coaching and education space, so I can't give product or personal advice. So basically we complement each other as opposed to overlapping.
Okay, so what is it that you do in this formula then? On the ground, in reality?
Basically I work with people to create their financial confidence, actually, create their own financial confidences. So I work with them with their personal financial situations, we're making that as efficient as possible.
Okay.
To sort of, I guess, to get them in a position to hand them back to Helen to go and do her work with them as well.
Yeah, so what kinds of things does it involve then?
Okay, so basically what I do a 3 to 6 month coaching program, usually 6 months, which goes very, very quickly, which is interesting. So I'd probably do what I call a full financial audit to get started with, because a lot of people are in a very vagueness and avoidance sort of situation with their money. They sort of don't really want to know what it looks like because they're sort of going to have to know what it looks like then. Okay. So basically I go through a know your numbers exercise because at the end of the day numbers don't lie. So once you know we actually get down and see where the money's being spent, the breakdown of the different areas of where the money's being spent and what it's being spent on. Yes. I then go and look at reviewing their fixed costs to make sure they're as efficient as possible, and look at structuring their bank accounts to be able to smooth out bill cycles, so every time they get a bill it's actually already paid. So
like having a bit of a reserve fund and things like that.
Yeah, and have cash reserves. So it's I'm not there to tell people what they should and shouldn't do and what they should and shouldn't spend their money on. I'm there, they tell me what they want to be, what's causing them financial stress. So it's getting them out of that financial chaos situation, and then for them to be able to start achieving what they want to achieve. So working with them to help them do that.
Okay. So paying off credit card debt, saving money, getting on top of the household bills.
Yeah, I recently worked with a couple for 6 months and we ended up wiping out $25,000 of credit card debt within the 6 months. So that was massive.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's changed this couple's life.
Yeah. Wow, well done to you, Melissa.
That's lovely, yeah.
Okay, and then it's over to you, Helen. Where do you slide into this then?
So as an advisor, obviously a lot of people are out there investing, and I believe that you need to get your foundations right before you go ahead and invest. And the reality is some people have already done some of that, so we just usually go back and fix the 5 foundations before we work more on what they should be investing. So a bit like when you build a home, you go spend a lot of money digging down to begin with in making sure that's right, so if a cyclone comes it doesn't blow your house down, right? So
yes, of course.
3 little piggies. I was thinking the same.
No, I'm thinking Cyclone Debbie actually. It was a destroyer for me, but anyway, that's another story.
So the first of the 5 foundations is an emergency fund, and the second one is a spending and an investment plan, as opposed to a budget, because that usually means I can't, handcuffs and I can't spend money. So again, that's where we work together. So if people are not being able to manage their money well, I will usually get them to go and work with Melissa before we go further, because there's no point investing, because if they don't have that right, then we'll have to sell something, which we don't want to do. So
that doesn't work.
No, it's not a good idea. So I might send them to Melissa before they move forward, or we might work in parallel together where they can keep seeking advice.
Okay.
And we also have I do a lot with professional women and couples and so on, but I also do a lot with divorced and widowed ladies. So it's really helpful then for Melissa to handhold them through those bits. A lot of them don't actually know how much they would need to plan to spend, and they struggle sometimes with things like how to set up internet banking or little bits and pieces like that, where Melissa's great at helping them establish those parts of what they need.
And then what else do you do as a financial advisor?
So the other ones in my foundations I look at are 3, which is looking at the insurance side. So Melissa might look at their private health and general insurance side of things, because general insurance is quite expensive, isn't it?
It's always worth reviewing, yeah.
And I'll look at the personal side, which is your life and income protection and those elements, which again, if you don't have those in place and something happens, is going to affect your position. And then number 4 is around superannuation. So I think it's important to know for a lot of people that we don't have anything to sell. So there's a lot of people out there selling. I had a lady the other day was quoted $10,000 to set up a self-managed super fund.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, what is that for, you know, and does she actually even need one? So I don't have anything to sell around that, and it's about finding what's right for everybody. So around super, we'd look at how you're invested, because that's going to determine where your money ends up, how the insurance is set up in there, and also around where the nominations go. So that's always a tricky one, particularly around second marriages and so on, which ties in with number 5, which is the wills and powers of attorney and things that no one ever wants to do. But there's some really good things you can do around there about keeping the assets in the bloodline, because we have a lot of issues now in families with drugs and gambling and divorces of children, and so it's about protecting that money that you worked really hard to build, making sure it goes where you need it to go in a protected environment.
Okay, well that makes a lot of sense to me now. I understand it. I hope the people out there do get it as well. Now, but anyway, the question I did want to pose, and something I heard the other day, is that it was proposed that unless you were born into wealth, it's probably impossible to become truly wealthy these days. What's your opinion on that, Helen?
Well, I wasn't born into wealth, so I think it's about doing things. I say slow and steady wins the race. So the benefit of time when you're investing is really important. So the longer that you can do things for and be smart, and again, not break it by having everything else working, and invest in what's an appropriate thing to invest in, I think you give yourself a better chance, because in theory, superannuation probably won't be enough, and there probably won't be a pension for a lot of people either. So it's also getting much tougher. So I think there's great stuff there, but you talk a lot about mindset around as well.
What's your opinion, Melissa?
I guess I'll probably take a different tact. I mean, I agree with, 100% agree with Helen.
At times, certainly,
as if I wouldn't. I wouldn't be game. But I think probably an area that has really grown and become a very big part of my coaching program is around mindset. So I guess the wealth question is, people are in, for lots of different reasons, but they tend to be in this scarcity and lack mindset. Now that could be on $50,000 a year or $500,000 a year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They could have abundance of wealth out here. But the problem is if all this isn't in alignment with what is going on internally for them, and so it could be limiting beliefs around money or blocks around money, which we all have because it all happens in our childhood. So it's just about acknowledging them and I guess it's kind of like reprogramming yourself.
Yes.
You know, the beauty of this is we can actually change it.
Yes.
It's fantastic. It's actually fantastic and empowering because you can do something about it. So unless out here is in alignment with what's in here, they're never going to be wealthy. So I guess that's the tact I'm taking in the wealth. It doesn't matter how much I say to my children as well. Wealth isn't all about money, but there's lots of different ways to be wealthy. But the wealth outside here, they'll never even think of themselves as wealthy unless it's congruent with their own beliefs around money. So a lot of work around, once we clean it up on the outside, we start cleaning up on the inside. Because I heard a fantastic comment the other day, which I love, and it was wealth is an inside job, and it's very, very, very true.
Oh, so many true, very many things, you know.
Absolutely, like exercise, like eating, you know, I mean, all those sorts of things. Unless it's what we want internally, it's not going to be sustainable. We can maybe set it all up, but it's not going to be sustainable.
Having the courage to change.
And both of those stories are quite old school. I mean, I'm rereading Think and Grow Rich, which is mindset, it's a very powerful book. And as I found the other day that $800 fell out of it magically too. I'd put in 50 and that fell 800.
I'll have to read my book again then.
Or read mine.
Well, I don't see any 50 tucked away here in between the pages. No, that's fabulous.
At the wine store.
Oh, the famous last words. Anyway, ladies, how do we get hold of you? Where do you contact you guys?
Yeah, so I'm on yourown2feet.com.au. just as it's spelt. And the book is on there if you're interested. We use the money from the book to buy, to help charities.
Okay,
so
tremendous.
That's helpful. And otherwise, yeah, plenty of information on the website. You can touch base with us.
I've got a website, talkingmoney.net.au, so there's a contact us form on there, which obviously I'll get back to. I also have a Facebook business page where you can direct message me, or you can just can give me a call on my phone number 0417 614 854. I'd love to catch up and have a chat.
Ladies, thank you very much for being on the eCentral Business Show.
Thank you.
Okay, that's everything this afternoon for the eCentral Business Show. We'll catch you next time.